Maybe a piece, but I'm hanging in post.
It's Tuesday afternoon, clock's moving slow. We got a spot where the good times go. Kick back, pull up, take a seat. Laughing so hard you forget the week. No script, no rules, just jokes on blast. Stories flying way too fast. If you're bored, well, not no more. 'Cause here we go at 4 o'clock sharp. You hear that knock? That's the fun at the door. Tuesday at 4, yeah, we're hanging out. Got your belly skunky friends all around talking nonsense. Laughing loud, best damn hang you're gonna find in town. Tuesday at 4.
The following show is being broadcast in front of a live Facebook and YouTube audience and is being brought to you by the Hippie Broadcasting Network, WTHC Radio, and Stoner Records. Now, here are your hosts, Dosa Gonchavelli and Little Skunky.
Yay!
I hate that opening, man. That is probably, we got to work on that one, Skunky. Nice to have you back, though, Skunky. Thank you for being here. I want to say, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another Stuffed and Uncensored. I am the hippie, and sitting beside me today is my co-host and my brother, and one of the craziest bastards I know, Skunky. Yeah, right there.
What's up?
Anyway, but
How you
today,
guys doing?
Good. Thank you.
Awesome.
But today we've also got somebody I've really been looking forward to talking with. Please welcome Jeremy Woods from Wild West Compliance. Welcome, Jeremy.
Thank you, sir. How you guys doing today?
Good. I still got a little more reading. Hold on a second. Jeremy gets out there. He walks the grows. He sees the processors. He goes into the dispensary. He deals with compliance in the real world, not just from behind the desk. What I love about Jeremy is he isn't afraid to ask the uncomfortable questions when something doesn't make sense. So today we're talking about clean medicine, patient safety, testing, compliance, enforcement, protecting good operators, and what the rest of North America could learn from people actually doing this work. Jeremy, brother, my sincere thanks, and we're seriously grateful to have you here spending time with us this afternoon. Welcome to Stuffed and Uncensored. There we go.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir.
Easy, welcome in, T-Bro, everybody. How are you? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, subscribe, and share. Share it out. Get everybody in here. All right, I got a ton of questions. Jeff, do you want to go first? You can get us started.
Sure. So, yeah, I really wanted to bring Jeremy on. Jeremy's a good friend that's also been up at the Capitol and other places with me, basically trying to address industry issues and try to bring them up to both the administrators and the legislators and all. And we're just trying to point out the problems and make the industry safer overall. So, like, I'm really fortunate I got to meet Jeremy and be able to kind of be on the same path as he is. So.
Yeah, I also have met Jeremy once before. He might not remember me, but I was the handsome fella when he was on another podcast over here on WTHC Radio.
Yes, sir.
Safe Access with Summer.
Yes, sir.
So I was here in the back, and I was intrigued and with his knowledge, and I'm excited to have you here, seriously, because I wish you were talking about the whole country and more than, that's the hard part. Everybody has to recognize that what he's doing needs to be done in every state, not just in Oklahoma. And we need people doing this kind of stuff for us everywhere.
One of these days, hopefully it will.
Yeah, that's our goal, hopefully. But I think we're in trouble. I think we're going the wrong way already. Anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of seeming like it.
Kind of scaring me, but I don't even want to talk about Bruno. Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead. So let's get us started. What do you want to ask Jeremy? He's got a million questions for you, he told me.
Yeah. So essentially, I was kind of going on this with interview style, just so if you haven't met Jeremy Woods before, if you haven't heard some of the content they put out on the Wild West Compliance on the social media platforms, you kind of get an idea of what he's doing. And as we talked before about in a previous podcast, there's this transition to DEA rescheduling that's occurring. We do think things will be kind of changing on a national level, but and I know that Jeremy's been looking into that quite a bit. So I guess my question to Jeremy first is, can you tell us a little bit about what you do and where you think things are going?
So yeah, what I do is I actually do hands-on inspections and compliance work. My phone pretty much rings nonstop. People call in, ask questions. I'll look it up, see where it's at in regulations. When I answer the question, I take a picture of it in regulations and send it to them. Because there's a lot of hearsay in this industry, and there shouldn't be. Everything's in black and white. It may be a little fuzzy to read around the edges, but everything's in black and white. But as far as federal and DEA guidelines go, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm glad it's headed there. I'd really like to see more background on the cannabis side to see what it can actually do medically. And without the federal funding for it, we're not going to get there. Some states are doing it individually, but I'd really like to see the federal funding come through for that research side, because there's a lot of stuff out there cannabinoid wise that people really don't know about. And without the research on it to prove what it can do, everything's just hearsay. But as far as that goes, it's kind of like your pesticides on a federal level. I foresee them actually having a minimum requirement for testing. Right now, you can't get into a lot of pesticides as far as EPA being involved with cannabis, but here shortly, that should be released to where EPA will be involved with the pesticide levels for cannabis. My personal opinion.
Now, I'm sorry to cut in, but you're saying we need the government to get involved in this? Is that what I'm understanding?
I would like to see it, yes, just because of the research centers.
I get the whole research thing, and I want as much research as possible, and I hope there's people doing more and more research every day. I thank everybody who is doing the research, but I'm concerned about our government being involved in it.
You're not.
You
won't have it without the government.
Well, I had it for many years.
The funding for research, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Well, I get that. All right, go ahead, Jeremy. I'm sorry.
No, you're all right. The bad thing is, and a lot of times I'm a hypocrite because I will call it one way and then turn around and look at it and call it another way.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so hard because you want it to be happy for everybody. You want everybody to be able. It should be recreational. I want it to be recreational, but they can't even get medical fixed. How are they going to get recreational? And then when you bring recreational, not everybody. Please don't jump down my throat. Not everybody's a bad actor. There's plenty of people out there doing their damnedest to make good quality medicine, but they're getting beat out by the cheaters and the scumbags, excuse my French, and so we're getting bad medicine because there's people that's not, they're cutting corners, they're doing whatever they need to do to get enough product out there. And as soon as recreation comes in, I feel like your state goes in the opposite direction because you're bringing your bad actors into your state, and that causes issues.
Absolutely.
That being said, go for it, sir. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Absolutely. My biggest thing when Oklahoma went for voting on recreational, I did not vote for it. I'm not going to lie to you, because like you said, we can't control our medical market,
right?
Let alone adding other things to it.
I'm not going to cut you off anymore. I promise.
No, you're fine.
Pennsylvania we have it on the ballot, I think this year. It'll be in November, I think, or whatever. And I'm voting no. You heard it here first. I'm voting no because they don't even have grow on there. At least put grow on there so I can grow my own. But we don't.
What else is in it that's bad?
It's not. They can't take care of this. Why do I want them bringing in 500,000 more people who are going to try to make medicine and make my state scrum it everywhere we go?
You know,
Right? I mean, that whole scromming thing is all a bunch of bullshit. It's because people who don't know what they're doing are going out there making shit, selling it to whoever, any Tom, Dick, and Harry that's willing to smoke anything and buy gas station weed, and then they're getting sick and they're throwing up, and now they're blaming marijuana. I've been smoking weed for 40 years at least, and I ain't never heard of somebody throwing up from marijuana until they started fucking playing with this Delta 8 and this Delta 10 and fucking around with all the shit. Fuck around and find out. And now Texas is gonna or Laura already lost it. They're talking about Massachusetts is gonna lose it. They're voting it out this year. We're fucking around and we're finding out. Excuse my French, but we're gonna. Don Giavelli he quit. He ran away. Sorry,
so
Sharon.
kind of going back to this main point, though, I think kind of what like Jeremy was addressing about like saying things that might seem contradictory. I think the issue is that like there are regulations in place that have good intentions, but when the regulations aren't being followed or distributed equally amongst all the players, then that's where we're getting all these problems. I mean, you're seeing these stories about like the DCC out in California, where it looks like people are having preferential treatment and all. And I think those things are kind of occurring here in Oklahoma too. But I'll let Jeremy speak to that further because like, Jeremy's also able to kind of see where the laws aren't being applied equally.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I brought it up 3 different times in public comment periods to our state authority. One business in particular advertises for health benefits. That is actually against FDA requirements. Until it's actually tested and researched and studied, you can't actually advertise a health benefit. But nothing's ever happened with that business. Not one time. One of the dispensaries reported in because I told them, I said, keep track. You can't carry this product until they change your labeling because it advertises.
You're allowed to do health benefits. You just can't say what it cures.
No, ma'am. Oklahoma,
Really?
You're not allowed to advertise health benefits at all.
Oh, Oklahoma.
Yes.
It's different for every state then, I guess.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's the part that scares me. I mean, fine and dandy, leave it to the states, but the states need to work on it. They need to do something besides sit on their ass and just collect the money. I feel like it's just a black market out here, and I'm being ripped off by dispensaries now. I'm spending top dollar for crap product.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like it's dry all the time. It's not fresh. I've never gotten a fresh bud from my dispensary. It's like not fresh as we used to get. I'm sorry.
Is there a cannabis commissioner in Oklahoma, or is it just the ag department?
No, actually, they've got Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority that actually covers our marijuana program.
Some states don't even have anything, right? Or well, some states because they don't even approve of it. But I mean, I think they're talking about bringing something like OMA here to Pennsylvania, and I was contemplating trying to get on the board, but I don't know if I wanna because
you should totally do it, Hippie.
Right, that's why we're here.
Do it.
I ain't got enough time in my day.
Just do it.
Well, hopefully,
then you can resign if you hate it.
Hopefully, your board gets to do more than let's see, how's the correct way to say this? Hopefully your board gets to actually do their job because Oklahoma doesn't.
I know the whole Oklahoma world over there. I see it every day with you guys and what's going on down there. And I feel for you guys. I'm like, but I don't even know. Like we're about to do it. We're not even there yet. And I'm worried about you guys. You know what I mean? Like,
hopefully it will become a full blown Schedule 3 and we won't have to worry about it near as much.
They'll screw with us. It's just like they put a carrot out in front of us and they just let us change it.
Well, okay, so look at it like this. DOT is a federal regulation, but each state has its own areas that they cover. Right. So that's how I look at it. I'm assuming that that's what it's going to be. You're going to have a minimum requirement, and then each state will have its own area that they have to cover.
Easy, thank you. it comes with a paycheck.
One of the questions I have is with it being Schedule 3, if it goes Schedule 3 in federal, then would there be more like patients' rights because now there's federal funding into auditing certain agencies, rather than right now there's kind of that disconnect of like why, let's say we have like OMA, and OMA is not like I would assume that no federal funding goes into OMA. So that's OMA's way of kind of having plausible deniability of being susceptible to the same type of audits and the same type of FOIAs, Freedom of Information Acts, that let's say normally a federal budget would be susceptible to.
My personal opinion on that is I don't think it will be funded federally through OMA, because OBN is our DEA representative for the state of Oklahoma.
Gotcha.
Now that's Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics.
Yeah, is everybody Martinez is in
That's
the
my personal opinion.
Gotcha. But with it being federally legal, would it then have more, I guess, scrutiny, where then hopefully honest players would have a little bit better of an I don't want to say an advantage, but actually a more honest market. Honest market.
We'll go with
my personal opinion is yes.
Gotcha.
Because they'll have somebody else to not really vent to or tattle on, but they'll have somebody else that will listen, and they don't care what politicians are tied into it because they're going to be federally.
Yeah, they don't care about the law.
Yes.
I love that, but I'm so scared every time.
It is. It's got its good points and it's going to have its bad points.
All right, I got a question from a gentleman named Mike Reynolds in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He wants to know, Jeremy, if hold on, of course, every day I have a podcast at 4:00 on Tuesdays, and my wife always wants to call in the middle of it. Jeremy, if Wild West Compliance walked into an average cannabis operation in another state tomorrow, what problems do you think you'd immediately start finding?
On an average cannabis facility, you're probably going to find non-compliant packaging, and you are probably going to find non-compliant standard operating procedures. You're probably going to find
doing this for drama.
One out of 10, you're going to find pesticides that shouldn't be used.
No.
1 out of 10?
Okay, maybe 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10.
That's still 30%.
Oklahoma has gotten better. I will say that Oklahoma has gotten better.
That's because
as far as what I see
over there.
Yeah, 4 years ago, you'd see it 90% of the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the logic on the pesticides, don't the pesticides like hurt the yields? Like this is kind of, they're expensive. They hurt the yields on the crop. That's kind of like, I mean, I get it's a shortcut, I guess, if you got problems. But like the logic would be if you're looking for like weight, wouldn't the pesticides like hinder the growth of the plant?
It depends on when you use it.
Yeah.
Well, and I think my question too is, do you find that a lot of these pesticides that are being used are not the Oklahoma 13, but some of the like non-regulated ones?
Oh, yeah.
Oklahoma 13. I like that.
Yeah. We've found Eagle 20, not supposed to be used at all.
Is it like I would think one of those bottles, like Eagle 20, would have 13 in it by itself, for crying out loud?
I think the Eagle 20 is
it's already got 20 in it, don't you think? Eagle 20 would be 20 already, and you're only allowed to test for 13. That probably you only use 3/4 of it because that other quarter is way out of compliance. I don't know. It's crazy. It's craziness. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Aviva's writing in the chat. Yes, supplements can legally claim health benefits, but they are strictly prohibited from stating that they can diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Yes, I have to do the same thing here. I am not a doctor. I do not save people's lives.
Yeah. Just on the Eagle 20, Eagle 20 has myclobutanol, right?
Yeah.
So that should fail. That should fail.
I knew that dude in high school, man.
That should fail in the Oklahoma 13.
Yes.
But isn't I was thinking that Eagle 20 wasn't even allowed in Oklahoma.
It's not supposed to be allowed in the state of Oklahoma, but you're starting to see it in more and more stores.
Well.
So that's curious. So, like, what prevents Eagle 20 from being allowed in Oklahoma?
What prevents Amazon from shipping it to Oklahoma? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, you know,
I'm wondering if that's like a decision on our Department of Ag, but I've heard that before, where Eagle 20 is not even supposed to be in the state. So when people have access to it, that definitely raises eyebrows. You know?
Oh yeah, you know, I've you know, it's been 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I had walked into a grow and they actually had 5 failed testing for it, and the lady's like, I don't know why I failed these tests. Like,
we
let's
got
look and see what you spray with.
Great Granny out here, very interested in some questions here. Her first one was to you, and I'm not sure you know, but Jeremy, what are the differences you see between Missouri and Oklahoma cannabis industries? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, Missouri is regulated a lot tougher. Their cannabis facilities,
like they're doing a better job
regulating it, yes.
Necessarily a better job, just
regulating it.
Yeah, regulating it, yes. Their regulations, there's actually less of them compared to what Oklahoma has. But yeah,
transparency in Missouri.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's good.
What type of transparency?
Just curious. So if I'm having a problem with one of my facilities in Missouri, say they're having an issue, I can call Missouri, which Missouri is DCR is what we've got OMA, they've got DCR.
They don't tell you to consult a lawyer. They actually give you a transparent answer.
Yes, they actually give you an answer.
There we go. That makes sense.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
what every regulatory body should be doing.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. If more states operated like Missouri, which most states do, but if Oklahoma operated like Missouri, there wouldn't be a place for me.
Well, we don't want that.
Got you. So, I got you. That makes sense.
That's
a real honest answer.
We'll get you a better job. We'll put you up higher.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but
to answer the question that just popped up, yes, absolutely. I love Missouri's regulations. I really do. It's harder for the grows to try to cheat the system. And I'm not saying all grows do. I don't want to make Oklahoma.
Yeah, we never say
everybody will.
Plenty of great people out there doing their best to try to prove, do things the right way.
Yeah, but where Missouri, they actually send the lab tech out to pick the sample up from the facility. So it's not a cherry pick sample. It's actually, there's your buckets. You got to write down and document, and it's actually video surveillance on when the lab tech goes out and picks the samples up.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw Bleezy wrote lab and testing transparency. The only rough part with that is on one of the holes on the lab end is just because you're getting the sample does not mean that the honesty and no manipulation on the back end for the lab testing actually happens. There would still be an arms race of
plenty of
manipulation. Yeah,
we're just saying transparency was nice.
At least on collecting, the sample.
Yes.
I love that.
And
I
then
love that word,
results.
transparency. I think that's going to be our new word of the day over here.
But where every lab is online in Missouri, everything is under video surveillance in Missouri.
Jeffrey.
Oh, so you're saying while they're prepping samples and everything, it can be scrutinized.
Yes.
For our transparency thing with the labs. That's amazing, Jeremy. Thank you. Me and Jeff have been trying to figure out other labs that may be doing a transparency thing where they put it online, because our friends here at Havard Labs do that. They're transparent. If you go to their channel on Twitch, anybody that wants to,
Now, I don't know if it's open where everybody can click on it and watch, but I do know the DSR can.
Well, we got
so if the DSR, but then is the DSR subjugated to potentially picking favorites or potentially, and also that's the thing. That's the rough part. Is like picking favorites and also the planned. Me and Jeff call them PUDs, planned undocumented deviations. where let's say example, like, you know, you're having a solvent digest a sample, and instead of 1,000 microliters, you put 500 microliters. Now your potency and terpene percentage will go up 50%.
Yeah.
Most
So-
companies micro numbers too. Yeah, that's what it should. I think they need to even work on that right before even that. There should be a place where we can see all the recalls.
Absolutely, there should.
That
Missouri,
everywhere across the country, because I got dispensaries here that I've heard come from other places I didn't even know. They're like in other states, and they're all over the country. And I'm like, oh, recall over there. I wonder if look at that.
Well,
Yeah.
is that the issue with it being Schedule 3 though? Like, is it more transparent to have agricultural recalls than medical recalls?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
That's a good question, Aviva. Question of the day. Yeah.
You stumped the panel, Aviva.
Panel, nice.
So
Well,
say that. Can you say that again, Aviva? Can you say that question again?
So-
Mo's like, we're not losing.
I know. I'm
So
sorry.
on
I'm just curious.
on our agricultural department's website, we have the recalls for all the lettuce, for example, that had the cycloparasite or whatever. So why aren't cannabis recalls on there, since cannabis is agricultural too? And is it because it's considered medicine? Is there anywhere we can go for medical recall, or are they protected with some crazy insurance or, you know, their own court system?
That makes sense.
Well, I kind of think like if you look at recalls for pharmaceutical drugs, like I believe that those companies are supposed to reach out to the patients that may be potentially affected, or to the physicians, and the physicians reach out. I'm not sure that we have. I'm not sure how well we have structure in each state for those recalls. Like
5 years old, I don't think I've ever had a call from my doctor saying, "Hey, your meds."
Yeah, I just get emails, you know.
Yeah, you
like,
got another appointment, or you owe us this much money.
I just get emails from lawyers being like, if you used baby powder between the years of blah blah blah, you are possibly gonna be part of this $1 million.
Possibly have crotch.
Well, I think at least here in Oklahoma, we used to get these emails that notified us of recalls, but at some point that changed to where you actually have to go physically visit the website. But once again, I might defer to Jeremy on this one. If there's something else that I'm unaware of.
I'm laughing, Jeff. I really am laughing because, you know, for those that follow my live feeds, I've complained about that a lot, because Oklahoma used to do the metric hold per their own regulations. It's supposed to be put in hold anytime they start the embargo process. Oklahoma hasn't done that since 2024. I was in a court case the other day, and I can't go into a lot of detail on it, but what I can say is, you know, that court case had 5 items for tests failed, but at the same time, it wasn't on a recall list. So if they have it test failed, state statute says it's supposed to be on immediate recall.
Well, I guess that's something to testify for as an activist.
Yeah. You know,
so the test was failed, but yet it was still transferred over into the market.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm wondering. That's the exact same question I'm wondering. Like, how do you legally transfer in metric a test failed sample, like, or batch? Like, how does that work?
Well, believe it or not,
honesty from anybody who's going to tell you if my shit failed or not.
Well, normally a metric it'll restrict you, I would assume.
Yeah, it's supposed to. But I've also seen items being test failed for pesticides being transferred from processor to processor. That was a year ago.
Wow.
I came across some flour the other day with no mold or yeast or anything. Perfect.
Is the pesticide failures, was that for R&D samples, or was that actually for compliance testing?
That was actually for an R&D sample. But at the same time, your regulations in Oklahoma states you're not supposed to sell or transfer if any failed test,
including R&Ds.
Including R&Ds.
Can you say can you define what R&Ds are for our audience?
Research and development.
Research and development.
And just saying, I'll tell you where that's at, Jeff.
All right. I mean, I've heard of this. I've heard of this going on before, but it is kind of crazy to hear because, like, at least for the Oklahoma regulations, like, we're not allowed to, or people aren't allowed to remediate or remove those pesticides and then resell that product. Like,
Correct.
as far as I understand, it's supposed to just be destroyed.
Correct. Absolutely correct. So it's on page 71.
Skunky, he'll smoke anything. He's like Mikey.
Or turned into fuel.
No.
Or plastic.
Nope. Has to be wasted.
That's crazy.
Per state of Oklahoma.
I get it. Like, it's not good. It's not healthy, but there's got to be something there that we can give it to the pets or something, you know? Like,
we're still running by it at the dispensary.
So we could reuse it, but I'm not sure.
oh, speaking of, who was talking to us about hempcrete yesterday and wanted to, and I told them they need to talk to Viva.
I don't know.
Somebody out there wanted to talk about hempcrete. If I remember who, I'll hook you up. They were.
We should do a workshop in Oklahoma.
They were working on hemp. We should. That would be amazing.
Make your own pot.
Are we waiting for a question or something? Or
Would
we
you come to Oklahoma to Hippie?
Are we
Jeremy's researching.
okay.
Yeah, Jeremy's looking up something.
Okay, take your time, Jeremy. I just was like,
I was listening. You guys keep talking.
Would you come to Oklahoma for our workshop?
I would drive, yes.
Yay!
Maybe. I would need plenty of time to prepare. Sure.
I got an extra bedroom.
You got from now till then.
Yay!
I want to go. I want to go to like the Cowboy Cup. I want to check that out.
You just want to see Kid Rock.
Yeah, maybe.
The cowboy.
Pizza oven.
Here it is, Jeff. It's on prohibited transfers. It's on page 72. That would be 442-10-8-1F. Prohibited transfers, except as authorized in these rules. Growers, processors, and dispensaries shall dispose.
Oh, no.
What happened?
And we didn't tell him that he's gonna have to jump out and jump in when he comes back because
Jeremy's lost in the woods.
Maybe text him.
Yeah,
text him, Joe.
Damn, I wonder who gets to get rid of it.
Is he coming back, or I'm gonna have to jump out and jump back in too?
I might have to kick him because he doesn't look like he's getting back in here.
Can somebody type it? And he probably ain't looking.
I can't even kick him yet.
Oh, his computer might have just died. This is so exciting. It's like a blackout.
Oh my, Jeff, it's something in Oklahoma.
It's something in the water.
It happened to Jeff. It ain't in the water.
Water.
We're playing musical squares instead of musical chairs.
While he's gone, I must say, I'm disappointed Jeremy doesn't have a puppet.
Solid. Solid.
While he's gone, I want to say something that I know for a fact. Ohio sends me an email from my dispensary about recalls.
From your one dispensary?
Really?
Yep.
Very nice.
Wow.
Well, I only need one dispensary.
How many recalls do you feel like you've had?
I need to
probably maybe 3.
I need to run a commercials. We should have ran them while Jeremy was gone. We'll be right back after these commercials, and we'll finish up this amazing show. Yeah, second here.
Nugs of many sizes, munchies, trippy friends, and stash jars are some of the gifts you'll find here at LoveNugBuds.com for a unique gift for your 420 friend. Love Nug Buds will have what you want in the end.
Welcome to the shop where the colors come alive. Collectors dream and never shine like fireworks in the sky. Stacked to the ceiling with stories fluorescent light, magic in the air when the toys play at night. Robots spinning, Game Boys flashing, action figures strike a pose. Barbie's got her sunglasses on, G.I. Joe's in hero mode. Arcade lights and vintage signs, glowing warm and bright. Everybody smiles when the toys play at night. Race cars roaring down the aisle like thunder and chrome. Furby's waking up like they just found home. Every shelf's a treasure map, everything feels right. Step into the wonder when the toys play at night.
She's right. She is right. 1,101 people, and we have 1,000 followers. That's amazing. All right, welcome back, everybody, except for Mo. He went potty. Sorry, Mo. Nice. Arizona here. We get recalls. Oh, very cool. We don't get any recalls here in Pennsylvania.
Picked a bad state, bruh.
Lost my phone number. Absolutely. What, Skunk? I'm sorry.
I said you picked a bad state.
Anyway.
There, T-bro.
Turn this back up. Moving on. I got another question. Ashley Morgan from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, boy.
You've physically been inside grows, processors, and dispensaries. What's something you see firsthand that regulators sitting in offices probably don't understand?
What they don't understand?
Yeah.
That a marijuana plant can grow, actually stretch, the 2 inches in less than a 24-hour period, going from a plant or a clone to a plant.
I did see Dolly Parton. Rest in peace, Dolly Parton, everybody. Rest in peace.
I did heart that.
Yeah, I was just in Dollywood.
Oh, sorry.
Huh.
Yeah.
I think
Blessings
not.
to her family. She lost her husband like a year ago, and I think that's been really hard.
Probably the final. Yeah.
And another thing I see a lot of is batch sizes. OMA
What?
does not batch sizes. OMA does not catch the batch size not being correct.
Oh, batch sizes.
Oh, batch. I got you.
I don't even know where to start here in Pennsylvania.
Right.
What does Bleezy got to say? There's a lot they don't understand. Don't get Jeremy started.
Yeah, I'm trying to bite my tongue a lot.
What's the craziest thing you've seen, Jeremy?
Craziest thing I've seen? A lot of bugs, a lot of pesticides being used. You don't see it anymore. Luckily, they've got rid of a lot of the really, really bad actors. But I remember going into grows 6 years ago and them having a specific room just for their lab samples.
Damn.
That's where they would grow the good stuff and keep it clean, and then everything else.
Yes. And OBN showed a video at the Senate committee last year of a lot of facilities that had a lot of nasty stuff running through the grows. And a lot of people, there's no grows like that. Yeah, there was. There is grows like that. They're getting fewer and farther between. But, at one point in time, there was a lot of facilities like that.
Damn.
And it's pretty sad for being a medical state and seeing stuff grown like it was.
He's got guard. Bleezy's got guard bugs. They bite.
Yeah. They're trained to attack the blue shirts.
I got Carlos Martinez from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Could the kind of independent compliance work you're doing in Oklahoma become a model for other states? Who broke what, Bo?
Sorry, my fault.
Yes, it could. So we do a lot here in Oklahoma. We do some in Missouri. I've had one from Arkansas reach out to me and talk to me, and then we had one in Kentucky reach out and talk to us. I had one of our clients talk about moving from Oklahoma to Minnesota, so we've talked about going up there. The biggest thing is yes, but I think it would be easier once the DEA gets involved with everything, I think then we're going to have more of a patent set of rules.
More buttoned
You know,
up.
yeah, yeah. A base guideline for every state to follow, and then the state can amend them from there. Is what I think will happen.
Hey Jeff. Hey Mo.
Yo,
Why don't you guys
Larry.
stick all your lab equipment on a school bus and do a Havard lab tour?
man, that would be interesting.
That would be so cool. I'll sing on the tour for you.
That's actually a pretty cool idea. If we can get something completely like insulated and controlled in,
Get a can of bus.
like a giant. Yeah, that'd actually be pretty cool. If we could afford it, that would be really cool.
Just get a cannabis. Yeah.
Do a science tour. That would be dope.
Drive around and teach kids about weed.
I am so in, like Flynn.
I love it.
That would be
What's up with all y'all? I'm glad I came across this in my algorithm. I keep hearing the word Oklahoma. I am an Oklahomie as well. Welcome in, John.
Good luck, John.
From Oklahoma. Thank you for being here, buddy. We are W3 Radio. This is Stuffed and Uncensored. This is our friend Jeremy Woods from Wild West Compliance. These two gentlemen across the bottom here are from Havard Labs right there in Oklahoma. The beautiful young lady and yellow friend down there is Aviva. They are from the Georgia area, right? Atlanta. And my friend Skunky, this handsome fella next to me, he is from the Gulf of America, down there on the Gulf. Yeah, I won't tell him.
Good side.
Good side, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell him the West Side.
Right.
I don't know anymore. Bleezy says that would be the most expensive bus on the road.
Shit, yeah, totally.
But it is actually it is kind of fun.
Very nice to meet you as well. Go ahead, Jeremy. I'm sorry.
It is kind of fun getting to see all the different ideas that people come up with in their facilities, especially the grows. I've seen some with lights. It's on winch systems that raise and lowered to mimic the sun. Mm-hmm. Seen a lot of different homemade equipment in processors for doing some of their mixing. It's pretty elaborate on some of the stuff you see. And we've seen labs that poor boy can get by, and we've seen labs that son of a gun that look like they come out of a federal program.
Yeah, geniuses out there, I'll tell you.
Do you think with things being
for good instead of evil? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mom.
No. I was just curious. Do you think with some of the regulations being buttoned up and the DEA getting in, do you think that they're going to be more open to alternative ideas or ideas that actually make logical sense rather than being susceptible to lobbyist influence?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Damn.
My personal opinion, I don't.
Gonna scam us and rip us off like they've been doing for the last 100 years. They're just gonna figure out a different way to screw us. That's what I think.
They haven't been screwing me.
Yeah, like does the DEA turn into an arm for big pharmaceutical companies?
I don't think they will. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Mo. I think you guys will be, as far as a lab setting, because DEA's already got lab inspectors. There's no people they've got to train. There's no people that they've got to say, hey, this is the type of equipment they're going to be using. Go learn about it, because it's the same equipment. You guys are already doing it. So they've already got their scientists that come out and do the inspections.
Wagwan Sean, welcome so much. Thank you so much for being here. Rest in peace. We were just saying that. Dolly Parton. Jeremy, our friend T-Bro wants to know, were you born and raised in Oklahoma?
Actually, my parents moved to Oklahoma when I was one.
So you were actually born in?
No, I was born in Kansas.
Kansas,
Jeremy,
that's why he has such love.
I love your beard. I love how your beard looks like a cloud and your face looks like the sun coming out of the cloud.
It used to get a lot redder.
He does a lot of microdose mushrooms. I'm just kidding. Moving on. Bleezy says all government agencies get lobbyists.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
Jennifer
always will.
Boston, Massachusetts wants to know what would happen if every cannabis business had somebody independently auditing them before the state inspector arrived.
The state wouldn't find as much.
Yeah, it's like when I worked at the military base and I was a cook, we got a 5-minute heads up that the inspectors were coming, and everybody ran like a cat being chased by a dog and running around hiding all the bad stuff, cleaning up, picking up this and throwing that, and that's would be exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they left, right back to the bad practices, the bad.
You know,
until
it's
next year.
It's funny that you say that because I literally had a grow, and it was I'm not gonna say what state it was in, but they had called me to come out there. Me and my oldest son Austin works with me in this. We went out there. And the grower actually talked to me like, "Hey, you know, if you go behind this, you'll find what we're hiding." Like, what?
Yes.
What? Yeah. I like, why? You guys are paying me to come out here. Why would you try to hide something? You know, if it's wrong, I'm going to tell you it's wrong. I don't care if I see it or not.
Right.
You know, we see a lot of stuff wrong when we do metric audits, and it is what it is. You don't like what I got to say, then you're going to tell me to leave, and that's happened. I don't care.
Yeah. They bring you because they want you, but then they want you to tell everything that everything's perfect.
Well, it comes down to the interpretations. Like Jeremy's very much by the book, and I've heard of other compliance people that are very maybe more susceptible to telling owners what they want to hear rather than what the actual real logic is.
Right, and that's what they want. They get to
Same
start
deal with lawyers.
expecting it. They want, you know, especially when you got lab shops and you can walk around and lab shop wherever the fuck you want. So they're going to expect everybody to eventually comply and do the exact same thing, and then everybody will be cheating the system and that's.
Well, there's the problem with labs as well. It's like the same deal with ISO being the gold standard, but fundamentally that person's interpretation or their knowledge or know-how doesn't necessarily translate into actually a good laboratory. Like Jeff's heard people before, like right before they get ISO, that they start getting really hardcore into it. Then they, as soon as ISO like leaves and does their audit, they make sure all their records look good. And now with AI, you could easily take your information from your already in your settings in the computers, and then plug in your reports and plug in your data logs to make it look like it's all lined up and perfect.
Doing it. Like you've been doing it the whole time.
It's even easier now in certain ways.
But I will tell you this: if a person knows what they're looking for, you can find it.
Oh, I totally agree on that. Like, if we look into another lab's records, like we would be able to find these inconsistencies and these
fake numbers
we talked about. Like we would be able to find these things just by looking in it. But it's like it just depends on the inspector, what they're looking for, how much depth and the knowledge.
What kind of mood they're in that day, if they're pissed off, if they're happy, you know, it all depends. You gotta give them an apple when they come in the door. You gotta kiss their ass the whole time, and then hopefully you pass.
But let's say the cheater knows and is that intricate in knowing what to look for. Could they not button up their holes? Like you're assuming someone's not smart enough to actually button up their own holes, especially if they know what to look for.
So so there's different ways to find things in metric, though. You know, I'm going to tell you right now a prime example. My biggest pet peeve is when I'm doing metric audits on dispensaries is looking at their pre-rolls because source packages. You'd be surprised how many source packages are still from 2023, 2022 that's still in metric on pre-rolls that was just manufactured 2 months ago.
How come every state has pre-rolls except for Pennsylvania up here? We don't. Our dispensaries, our medical dispensaries do not have pre-roll. We can't get pre-rolls. I don't want them because I've heard such bad things about pre-rolls that I'm like, I don't even want one. Thanks anyway. I'll pass.
Do you have flour?
Yeah.
They have flour.
Oh, you know why? I'll tell you why. I just figured it out. Bink, bink, bink. We because we're not allowed to smoke marijuana. We're only allowed to dry herb vaporize it. You can't dry herb vape a joint.
Nice.
I'm a fucking genius. I'm on fire.
That's like Georgia right now.
Yeah, so we can only dry. I mean, I don't ever smoke joints. I only dry herb vaporize.
The hippie is a beautiful mind.
But you probably have hemp pre-rolls.
What?
Yeah, probably we can get like them hemp cigarettes. I've seen them around here.
Yeah, I did have a question for Jeremy as well on this.
I hope so.
Out of all the things you've seen, like what kind of things do you think that Oklahoma could do to improve the market and make sure that there's more safer medicine on the shelves, just from the experiences that you've had?
From the experiences that I've had,
or what you know. So,
honestly, my personal opinion is when they're in a facility and it's got
all right,
bug infestations, they ought to be watching that product when it goes to testing. Was it sold as flour? Because I've been in there where they've got a mass infestation of spider mites, and that flour go in as flour, or did it get processed down? Because I know they didn't take the spider web.
Yeah, did they take the spider mites out, or did they just get ground
up?
Yeah,
exactly. So now my personal opinion needs to follow through. My personal opinion, they need to do a lot better side on the inspection side of things. As far as, are they spraying? What are they spraying with? Is it legal for them to spray with it? Do they have the applicator's permit? There's a whole lot of things in Department of Ag that covers things that's going on in marijuana, but OMA does not look into that side of it.
My God, there's so much. Like we're talking about one thing over here, and you just named 7 more that we have to worry about as well, for crying out loud.
Yeah, what would you say?
I don't have enough time in my life.
Would be a way to monitor that filter, like to make sure that like good medicine is appearing on the shelf. Like, how would you? You're just saying for the authority for inspections to be more thorough.
The authority for inspections being more thorough, and honestly, I know me and Jeff's talked about before. Used to be in the regulations for the lab side of things that they would actually pull in their solid core samples 3 times a year and have them tested to the COAs that was produced with it. Mm-hmm. You guys haven't had that done since 2022. So,
that scares me because at least they
right? They never even made the results public, right?
Yeah, and then
supposedly they did it, but we don't even know what the results were.
Right,
but tell you.
But now they changed the regulations, so when they get their lab up and running, you guys will go back to doing that.
We could still hang out inside, Bleezy. Don't worry about it.
So my biggest thing is, I think they need to be a little bit better on their testing side of things. Honestly, I think the lab ought to be the ones going out. I think they ought to mimic Missouri as far as what the lab are required. The camera footage for the driver from the lab wearing his camera the whole entire time.
That's what we always thought about doing. Yeah, that's what I've always tried to ask other growers if they'd be interested in doing that with us.
Missouri does it, and the driver can't open the box of the product.
Yeah,
he's got a little mail slot. He drops the product in. When he gets back to the lab director goes out there and unlocks that box.
Yeah.
So there's no tampering product.
Yeah, we were thinking the tamper-proof seals of using the bottom end of the perforated edge of the metric tag. That way it's replicable. And then having that on the live stream, so okay, here's actually the sample being made. Yes. We were talking about this like right in the very beginning, like 5-6 years ago. And really, we didn't really have any clients that were really interested. Like a lot of people weren't fully interested.
In Missouri, I know I'm going to make a lot of growers mad in Oklahoma when I say this, but it is what it is. Missouri, when you package that product, you have it tested. You don't change packaging. You don't repackage it into something else. So it cuts down on, once you package it, you have it tested, it's ready to go.
Bleezy's telling me I'm testing all the samples personally testing them. This one's good.
Yeah, well, but and your testing sample size. Right now you're allowed 15 pounds. So minimum requirements is 5 grams for primary and 5 grams for a supplemental pack. So a reserve sample. So, is that 10 grams really going to reflect that 15 pounds? But then at the same time, how many of these facilities are putting it in 50-pound batches?
I mean, some people have
it down.
Yeah, some people had the idea of like the whole batch being transferred over to the laboratory, and then the laboratory pulls from the whole batch and then seals up the bag afterwards, and then transfers it back to the grower or the processor, which I think would be interesting, but you need a lot of space for that.
Well, that and another thing I think our state really needs to do, and I haven't looked in it as far as how many states actually do it, but proper storage requirements for product. You know, I've seen products sitting in trash bags. You know, we're not allowed to do that.
Can't keep your marijuana in a green garbage bag. What?
But you know, it's one of those things. It's not in a temperature controlled room.
Yeah. No, I get it.
So
it's in a scented garbage bag. Yum.
Yeah.
Mix that with the terps. Mix that with the terps.
Yeah.
Yum.
That's how they add the scent. That's how they add the flavors.
Yeah.
That's where you get your terpene.
You know, and I can't say I've just seen it in grows, because I've seen it in processors too. So it is what it is on that side of things. But there's a lot of things that could be done better, that should be done better. And proper storage requirements is one of them. I've asked OMA to implement a proper storage. Hell, in 2023, they used to actually have where you had to keep track of your logs for filth and contaminant logs. In 2023,
so what would be proper storage? Tell the people, like glass jars?
I recommend 60 and 60 degrees in temperature and 60% humidity.
Yeah.
But what container?
What container? You can do glass, you know, you can do Mylar, as long as it's stored in that controlled environment. That's going to keep your bags from sweating or your glass jars from sweating.
Heather Lovelace asks, what about requiring extractions methods on the package?
Ooh, that'd be cool. That would be cool.
So, yeah.
I mean, I mean, live rosin compared to distillate, isn't that the only difference really, or is there more? And
well, yeah, it's kind of funny whenever you look at some of this packaging and it says live rosin, and then when you look at the ingredients, it says,
I think a lot of people label. Yeah, a lot of people label things just like strains. Like you know, they'll just label things whatever they think is the hot trend.
Yeah,
it's not really
the cool name is Jesus OT this month.
Exactly.
I've seen growers do that. They'll pull clones off of one plant and they'll sell those clones, but the guy will say, "Hey, I want 50 of this strain, 50 of this strain, and 50 of this strain." So they'll go cut 100 clones off of one mom.
Okay.
I was looking at the labels of
about like the butane or propane, so you can know.
Yeah, absolutely, they should.
So Heather, I was looking at the labels of hemp drinks, and I saw that they described their process on climbing kites.
They're actually supposed to put it in. They're supposed to report it to the labs on how they process it.
Yeah, for sure.
DCC requires you to have it quarantined while it's being tested, tamper-proof, sealed. If it fails, it goes to See, I hate that whole remediation bullshit. I think that if it fails, there's no fixing it.
Well, so hang on just a second. State of Oklahoma.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Remediation does not mean going in and trimming a little bit more or doing something different with your flour. What remediation for the state of Oklahoma is, that's processed down. That's processed down into a distillate. That's what remediation is for Oklahoma.
Yeah, well, that doesn't sound very good. That sounds like you're taking bad stuff and then turning it into other stuff, so I don't see that it's bad, and now I can smoke it.
But
hold
then
on.
it's retested.
It depends on what the remediation is. So, like, if you have a moisture failure on a flour where it is just over the limit of 15% moisture for Oklahoma, and you need to like let it cure for a few more weeks to bring the moisture down to an acceptable limit, then that's remediation, and that is fully acceptable.
No, that is decontamination.
That's decontamination.
Decontamination of moisture?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Or it could be THC remediation if there's too much THC.
It's demoisturization, actually.
Definition form.
Wow.
Yeah, decontamination does not change the structure of the product. Remediation changes the structure of product.
Where are you, Heather?
Heather, where are she's in? I think she's the Oklahoma.
Yeah, Heather's from Oklahoma.
So when
There's
you
one of our Oklahomies for sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Wow,
then-
yeah.
well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So hold on.
yeah.
Does that mean when you're processing out residual solvents, if you're trying to remediate, or when you're trying to fix that batch, is that also considered decontamination?
On a residual solvent?
Yeah. So if you failed for solvents, but you end up reprocessing
You just need
the
to cure it
batch
longer.
to try to
Yeah.
to remove the residual solvents to an acceptable level, is that also decontamination or is that remediation?
No, that'd be a decontamination.
That's kind of what I was thinking
think-
from what you were saying from the previous one. It sounds like that's also a decontamination.
So
That's
if the solution is just curing longer, that's a decontamination.
Yes. So definition remediation means
Learn
the
something new.
process by which medical marijuana flower or trim, which has failed testing, is processed into solvent-based medical marijuana concentrate, and the final product is tested in accordance with the Oklahoma law and these rules.
As
That's-
opposed to phytoremediation, which removes the decontamination of the land with the hemp plant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Good point.
So when people were paying, like let's say somebody, I remember us getting flour like a long time ago. It's been like a long time when in the testing in the beginning when someone would fail a microbial and they'd take it to get remediated from a company which looked like it got UV'd or something. And something happened. Some process happened. That wasn't considered remediation whenever they then resend it back in. That was considered remediation.
That was considered decontamination.
Decontamination. Got you. Okay.
Yes. And that's where I will say this. That is where OMA inspectors fail, because whenever they ask, do you decontaminate or remediate anything? And everybody says no. So how many times have you guys actually retested something?
Retests do happen. Yeah, retests do happen. I mean, something fails on micro because micro has such high variability. And maybe it gets retested. It may fail again. It may on the reserve, or it may pass.
Right.
It's usually not very much of a very big swing, but micro does have large variability, just the nature of biology and plant material.
Yes, absolutely.
But like on other stuff, so yeah, that would be a decontaminate. That would be a decontamination. Yeah.
Yes.
If it got pushed through, failed, and then they wanted to retest it. Yeah.
Yes.
But then God, I always thought that they'd write it up as their own remediation, but I guess a decontamination process. I guess they would write it up as their own decontamination process, what they did to the plant, what they did to the batch, and then resubmit it for testing. Got you.
Yes. Which
semantics of definitions, though.
Yes, yes. But that's what I try to explain to everybody is you got to go back to definition form to know exactly what they're talking about.
Well, that's what we love about you. Always learn something new.
Yeah, I'm kind of reading through those rules right now about the remediation and decontamination, and that's a really interesting designation between the two.
Maybe that could be our topic.
That's why Jeremy's top notch, man.
Yeah. We always learn.
Always.
I appreciate that.
That's what we love, having you as a resource to talk to.
But you also got to remember, this is all I do. You know, every time we get a new regulation, I compare them page to per page, whether it's ODAF or OBN or OMMA.
Yeah, you are an asset for sure. You're an asset to the community. You are definitely an asset to the community.
Tell us that you don't live in Pennsylvania over here. You want to buy a house in Pennsylvania?
Actually, I'm looking up your marijuana laws in Pennsylvania as we speak.
There are no laws.
Oh, yes, there are.
Yes. We can do dabs. We can use carts because that's kind of vaporizing, and that's it.
So one of the perks you're saying in Missouri, all the kind of regulatory surveillance in Missouri is pretty good. But in Missouri, don't they have to go through like almost like isn't it almost treated like a pharmaceutical, like a prescription drug?
Pretty close on the medical side of it.
Yeah,
I mean,
like the dispensaries.
It's pretty close.
My uncle's in KCMO, and he sends me a lot of stuff from Missouri.
And I'll tell you right now,
just pictures and stuff.
Missouri has a lot of recalls on their labeling side of packages, and it's really funny because Oklahoma, well, we're not going to talk about Oklahoma's packaging, but
Yeah,
Missouri.
you've been killing Oklahoma's packaging for years now. Trying to call it out.
But Missouri's pretty unique because you can send the packaging in, you get pre-approved number to put on that packaging, and if anything is different than what's submitted, when an inspector comes in from Missouri, they can look at a package, they can tell you what package number it is, and they can tell you if that's the newest package or the oldest package. They can look at that package. They actually have the pictures of what that package was submitted to the state for approval. And if one word is different, then it's a recall.
Wow.
They don't. But
at least they're screening before, right? I mean,
yes, they are.
That's exactly what you've recommended numerous times.
Yes.
Yeah, there's already examples. Yeah.
Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we have already run out of time. This show went by so fast.
Yeah, for sure.
It flew by. I would love to have you back again, Jeremy. Anytime. Yeah, absolutely. If you're available.
The shit.
Absolutely. I didn't even get through the first 10 questions. I got 50 here. We got plenty of more questions. I want to say a huge thank you to Jeremy from Wild West Compliance for hanging out with us today and sharing what he knows, and most importantly, giving a damn about patients' clean medicine and making the industry better. Jeremy, we truly appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you guys.
Big love to Jeff and Mo, Skunky, and Aviva and Scribbles, of course. Every single one of you every single one of you who tuned in and spent a part of your day with us, getting stuffed and uncensored with us. And don't go far, because tomorrow night we got an insane show. If you're a fan of Pez, tomorrow night live in the Toys Play at Night podcast, we're welcoming Steve Glue, the Pez outlaw himself. If you guys have,
oh my God, you're gonna have 1K subs after that.
You guys don't know, man. I watched the documentary of this shit last night. It was amazing. He broke into he went to other countries where they wouldn't allow Pez to come to America, and he went and he brought it into America illegally. I stay on that, but he snuck it in, got it in, and became an outlaw and was being chased. It's an amazing.
He's up there with the Marlboro Man.
Yeah, well, because like Pez International they were allowed to ship everywhere internationally around the world, and then there was Pez USA, which only got from Pez International. But when Pez International was filling out the paperwork, they just stopped halfway through and didn't finish filling out the paperwork. And when he went to go get the stuff, he was the only person that ever tried to transport stuff from there to here, or something to that effect.
I think Skunky's mouth would be a good Pez dispenser.
Skunky is a little Pez dispenser.
As opposed to a Pez dispensary.
So he was a Pez smuggler, huh?
Yeah, he smuggled Pez, and then
awesome.
It's crazy. You got to watch the documentary. It's amazing. I'm going to watch it again. He's going to be on with us and the director of the documentary tomorrow night at 8 p.m.
Where can you see the documentary?
Outlaw.
I am so there.
It is going to be amazing. I told you, I watched the documentary twice last night, and I'm going to watch it again today because
Where's it posted? Where's the documentary posted?
It's on YouTube. You can find it.
YouTube. Okay, got you.
Pez Outlaw. It's a Pez Outlaw. Yeah, it was amazing. Cool. Amazing. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, everybody. Tomorrow night, like I said, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. You do not want to miss it. Until next time, stay lifted, stay informed, look out for each other, and keep asking the questions that matter. We'll see you tomorrow night. Until next time. Peace. Much love, everybody. Thank you so much.
Peace. Oh boy.
Peace, Jeremy. Thank you.
See you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
No script, no rules, just jokes on blast. Stories flying way too fast. If you're bored, well, not no more. 'Cause here we go at 4 o'clock sharp. You hear that knock? That's the fun at the door. Tuesday at 4, yeah, we